Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Cup Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I just finished drinking all of my tea because,
Mm.
baby, I needed my tea, but right now, I'm just drinking water because it's hot here in Fiji. Hot,
It's
hot,
so hot
hot.
in Fiji.
So very hot. And so, I have to drink my water, stay hydrated, everyone. Um, but since I have my water bottle, I'm not drinking out of my cup mug. And you can
Ah,
get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. What's going on?
there was liquid in my cup mug, and I did the and then it spilled on my keyboard.
Eee. Ah.
So, I'm here. I'm just gonna clean off my keyboard really quick. But yes, Lana
let,
G
let me
Creations.
continue. LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com, where you can get your cup merch or any of your our cup um, merch, not just the cup, but we do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch. Period.
Per. Ow. Hi, Islanders. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I'm drinking some caffeine, but I'm almost out. So mostly today I'm drinking water. Because hydration is of the essence of Hall. And today was a spicy episode of Love Island, to say the least. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
To give y'all context, usually Lana and I have a little bit of a conversation prior to us recording an episode of Love Island together. We have not discussed this episode whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
I almost texted you last night when I watched it, but I did
Mm-hmm.
not. Um, it was honestly a clarification question, which I will still ask on this on the pod today. Because you are a lot more in to the Love
Mm-hmm.
Island than I am, and a lot of these episodes, I gotta be honest, I'm listening to more than I'm watching.
Mm.
I'm still in. I'm still very in on this season. But there's one point, I'll bring it up later, that I just need some clarification on because I was confused.
Okay. But
But
before we
overall, a
oh,
great Fallout episode
oh,
after the
Fallout
recoupling.
episode indeed. But before we get into it completely, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of our other channels that we have in the network. All of those links will be in the description below. You can click on each link and subscribe. Also, our audio podcast links are down there as well, so you can follow us if you want to check us out on the go. And our Patreon is also down there, where so you can join our Patreon so you can get exclusive content and early access to all of our channels.
And I will go ahead and say on that note, I don't know if Lana's going to come with me on this journey, but I think I'm going to go back at some point after this season of Love Island is over and rewatch some old Love Island seasons and maybe do some Patreon stuff for Love Island. So
I mean,
it
that'll be
might
great.
just be me. Who knows? But I think I'm fully back into the Love Island universe and might go rewatch some or watch, not rewatch, watch some old seasons. So
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. So go check out our Patreon to get some exclusive content across all four channels and early access across all four channels for these things. So check it out. We got some stuff coming down the pipeline that we are doing here on the TV network where we got Big Brother coming up next week. We're smack dab in the middle of this Love Island journey. And we are wrapping up our mole journey next week. So please check all of those things out. And yeah, here we go.
Stan Muna for clear skin.
Oh, absolutely. If you ain't watched The Mole, you need to do it. You should do it.
Mostly
But
because our friend is on there.
and she's amazing. Duh. So
Iconic.
yeah, let's get into this Love Island because I'm very excited to talk about it because like I said, Logan said, we have not discussed anything. And I don't know if we are going to agree on everything or not. So let's get into it. We come back from the fallout of the recoupling, and that villa is on fire. The villa is on fire. The original girls, all of the original girls except, well, all of the original girls are single.
All
Nicole,
of the OG girls are single.
Nicole and Liv have coupled up. Nicole stayed with Kendall,
Yep.
Liv with Kane. So that is the thing. All the original boys have now recoupled. And well, shoot, all
Except
the
for
boys
Aaron.
except Aaron. Aaron is the only one that came back single. But
Well,
he came back
well,
single.
yes, and we'll talk about it. They're basically already back in a couple, but
I mean, could we get there? It you literally only had to wait 5 more minutes before we got to that point because
well,
she folded like a pretzel. Everybody, like we
we
knew she was.
all knew she was gonna fold like a pretzel.
Nobody is surprised that Kayla was going to fold right back into Aaron's arms, and I
Not
was
even
like,
Ariana.
no,
Oh,
everybody knew.
because
Everybody knew.
I want to say as well, I did watch After Sun.
Oh, me
I
too.
did it. I did it. Uh, and the confirmation from Maura Higgins that Love Island Games is coming back. Ah, I'm so excited!
That was great.
Ah!
That's so good. I'm excited
But
about that.
I loved the After Sun. The only other After Sun thing I want to bring up really quick is I actually liked having Johnny Bananas on there. I thought he was a nice addition, but I agree with him completely when asked at the very end who he thinks from this season should be on Traitors. And he said Liv, and I absolutely agree. I would love to see Liv on the Traitors. Mostly because I like Liv, and I would like to see more Liv, but that's just me.
I mean, my thing is, Liv can be on the Traitors. Liv can be on anything, and I really would care or wouldn't care because she's really, I don't think she's doing anything here as far as trying to find someone for sure, for real. I think she's here for the girls of it all, and which I appreciate and which I love. But I don't think she's here to actually find anybody, a true connection, because she's not giving anything. I like Liv. I think she's very much, I would love to keep her around for a while. Do I think she'll do fine on the Traitors? She'll be fine. I don't think she'll add much, but she'll be fine either way. She'll be a fine faithful or fine traitor. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck, and people might not think this is true. Who I think would do better on the Traitors than I think Liv is Rob. Rob is sneaky.
Absolutely.
He is slimy. He is snake-like, and either you go think he a traitor or he is gonna be a really darn good faithful. Like,
and we don't have any Love Island people on season 3, do we?
Not that I know of. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they didn't cast from Love Island this time.
So, which I'm just like, okay, I get it. I mean, Love Island is not the show where you think you go find good traitors, but Berkey did a really good job.
And I was gonna say, and Ekin Sue brought us one of my favorite lines ever on reality TV. Oh Lord, not Ekin Sue.
Not Ekin Sue.
Not Ekin Sue.
I mean, Ekin Sue didn't bring it.
I know, but she was the catalyst for one of the most iconic lines.
She was the catalyst for it. Yeah, her name. Oh Lord, not.
She didn't do a damn thing.
She
but
nothing.
Oh Lord,
not
Ekin Sue.
But yeah, so Love Island is probably not the one where you would go and think, oh, this person. But I do think Justine would be a really good person to add on Traitors. I'm not lying because she likes the challenges of it all and the game factor of it all. And I think she would do really well in something like that.
I'm still waiting for Justine to get her call for the challenge. I got to be honest with you. Like, I mean,
Challenge USA, she did, but I really want her to
know. I'm waiting for her on the main series because I really think I think she is someone that with more challenge experience, I think she could turn into someone like Amber Borotza, I believe is how you say her last name. Amber B from Big Brother. And get that kind of redemption that Amber got from the challenge. I would like to see that for Justine. Absolutely. And Tasha for that matter, honestly. And maybe Janae. I think Janae would be.
I will see. We'll see.
I'd like to see Janae. But yes, Casa's done. Villas in Flames.
Villas in Flames. Let's just go with the beginning with Kayla and Aaron. Let's start with them as the couple. We all knew Kayla was going to fold like an origami paper
Mm-hmm.
Like she was just gonna fold.
Yeah.
And it literally, like, I knew she was gonna fold the second when Aaron turned the corner. Even though she wanted to be single, she was smiling. She was
Yeah.
happy he came back by himself, even though she was mad that he kissed this girl. But I'm like, you did all that
Yeah.
crying and whimpering, and like I gave her flowers when she stood up and was like, "I want to be
The
single." Da
speech
da
was
da.
good.
It was great, but I'm like, but now this is the time to stand on business, and you fold like a pretzel.
Yeah.
You ain't
Here's
stand
my
on business. My
yeah.
problem, my only problem with it is not like I don't feel like they have a connection and she should get back with him. I feel like she didn't even make him work for it because
Yeah.
he didn't even have to work at getting her back. It was kind of like they went to the dock, they
Yeah.
talked for a minute, and he really still didn't give her anything. He gave him everything. She was like, I was crying. He was like, I know, I'm sorry, I didn't want to hurt you. I know you didn't. It's like, girl, make him work. Make him feel like he
Yeah.
still has to work for you to get you back. He has to earn your trust back.
And in a few ways, I think she's doing something like that. I agree with you. She did fall. But okay, but here's the thing though. She is not immediately right back into being lovey dovey, right back where they were. That's the thing. Is like
She
she's still
climbed
keeping
into
him,
soul ties with him.
but they
They
didn't
slept.
sleep together.
Yes, they did.
They didn't cuddle.
They did. She was all
No,
up
they
on her
didn't.
when they showed the picture of them together. He was big spooning her.
Oh, I must have just completely missed that.
They literally
Okay.
was together. Like
Then I must
literally
have.
big spoon.
What she's saying as well is like, you're still on my shit list. Like, that's the kind of thing that I meant. Like, I think it's going to take. I think
Words
she
are
is.
so lame. Words,
Yeah.
action speaks so much louder than your words. Because if I'm like, you're still on my shit list, but I'm gonna let you cuddle me at night, like that means nothing. This man is a master manipulator, and he is literally sitting in his head laughing, like, yeah, I got it right where I want him. Because he knew the second he got back in there and said, we'll talk later. Like, first of all, you don't even know if you gonna have a moment of my time. What makes you think I'm
Mhm.
going to grant you my time for you to sit there and be like, I'm not gonna explain anything right now. We'll talk later. Absolutely not. We're not talking later. What I say right now
Mhm.
is we're done. I'm not talking to you. And he has to work to get to talk to me again. Like he just but this is still, I have to take into consideration. She's still a baby. She's still 22 years old
Yeah.
or 20 something years old. She just graduated college. She's into a relationship in this situation where she hadn't been, and something like this. And this man is telling her everything she wanted to hear, everything she
Yeah.
wanted to hear. And she's like, I am in love with him. And we knew she
I
was folding.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think the other thing to talk about is in a lot of ways, and we've talked about it this season. In a lot of ways, I haven't felt the most genuineness from
Mhm.
Aaron.
Mhm.
Here, I got a little bit more genuineness from him in a way that I don't think we've really gotten from him. Because I do really think he probably is still doing this for a green card. I do agree with what you've said all season, but I think he's actually starting to really feel for this girl. Because and it's only been one episode since we've been back from Casa, so I think anything is still possible. And obviously, we've got a new bombshell coming in at some point. I thought it was going to be this episode. I guess they're letting Casa breathe before they do,
Mhm.
before they bring in the new bombshells and they do the bloodbath, as Ariana told us on After Sun.
Mhm.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Mhm.
But um, I think the interesting thing is I think Aaron is actually starting to develop feelings for her. And what he was saying and his actions throughout this episode felt very genuine, at least to me.
I do think he likes her. I do think he has a like for her. He really does want to build something, but and I think it's a genuine connection that they have. Do I think he's still trying to win the money? Absolutely. This is
Oh,
the only
absolutely.
this is the only person who mentioned money, and I feel like he really wants this money, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get said
And I don't
money.
I don't think if
No.
if Aaron and Kaylor recouple, and
They still
if
not
they
winning.
win this, I will say, if they win the season, it will be on Kaylor's back.
I don't think they're gonna win.
I
I don't
don't
think
think
they're gonna
so
win.
either, but if they do, it's going to be because people like Kaylor, and it's going to have nothing to do with Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think they're winning at all. I
Yeah, I don't
think
think
right
so either.
now, unless, and we'll talk about Janae and Kenny. I don't want to go too far into that, but
Mm-hmm.
I think there is one couple right now. I mean, it is the strongest connection, and I think they are the clearest shot to winning at this point.
I don't think they are either.
Okay.
And I feel like because a lot of people are seeing if they win,
But
like you
I
said,
and I
it'll be off of Nicole's back
Nicole and not
and
Kendall, and
not
I want to
Kendall
talk about
because
that at
we'll
some
talk
point too.
about
Yeah.
them next because people do not like Kendall, and I think Kendall is going to get
Nope.
exposed in the next few episodes very, very much. He's already starting to get exposed, but I think he will continue to get exposed, and America is not feeling him, and that's the thing.
No.
America's voting. When we vote on stuff, we vote very much off of feelings
Yeah.
and we don't forget what you did in the past. And that's why I
That's
feel like Aaron is going to mess up because people have not forgotten how much you cried about Rob and you shed not one tear for Kaylor. He
yeah.
shed not one tear. No
Yeah.
tears fell out that man's eyes on this episode. It was
Yep.
red. He was welling, but no tear fell. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but you have no problem bawling your eyes out for Rob when he might
Yeah.
possibly leave. And so America is looking at this stuff and we're not forgetting. And we don't like Aaron for that. And then you yelled at the girls too? Oh, absolutely not. People are watching Love Island this season for the bad girls. The baddies are running this season. And if one of those baddies get hurt, screw you, man. Like
Yeah.
if one of the baddies
Whoever
leave.
Yeah. Whoever wins this season, it will be based off of the woman in the
Yep.
couple, and probably, I'm not going to say definitely not, but probably not the man.
Probably not the man. Probably not the man at all.
No.
But we can
Yeah,
move on from.
I think there's one case where it could also be because of the man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about that. But let's go on to Kendall and Nicole because
Yes.
he came in. They both were single. They recoupled. They're very happy. Nicole's happy. She's very good, and he's in a good space with together
Yeah.
as their couple.
Yes.
I think she tried to school him on what he did wrong in Casa.
Mhm.
When he went to Kaylor and was like, I'm sorry, so please give me a hug. I'm sorry. And I'm like, please don't do that because you don't even know what you're apologizing for. Like, I need you to say the words. Don't just say, I'm sorry. Say what you're sorry for. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And Kayla was like, no, what? Like, no. And Nicole did step in and say something like, but what are you sorry for?
Here's what I love about Nicole. I'm loving Nicole more and more the episodes that we're getting from her, because I'm happy that she is happy in the connection she's currently in. I think that's wonderful for her. I'm so thrilled for her. I also love that she is giving space for the other girls to be critical of Kendall, because Kendall has not been perfect throughout this process.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that she is giving that space to the girls to criticize him when he's doing things wrong. And she is jumping in as well, being like, but you really have to you have to say why you're sorry for Kaylor. Right. You have to say, potentially in the next episode, hopefully, why you're sorry to Serena.
Right.
I'm glad that it's not just, oh, that's my man, I'm going to defend him.
Right.
In everything, because he hasn't been perfect in this process.
No.
But I'm glad that she is behind him, but still like, you got to get your shit together, boy. It's very that energy, and I really like it from Nicole.
Absolutely. I do appreciate that. Some people wanted her to do more. I'm like, it's really not a whole lot more she could actually do.
Because I don't think I want her to do more necessarily. I think what she's doing is great.
Right. I don't need her to start an all out war with him about it and, possibly, send something that they have together. But I do want her to explain to him, like, hey, this isn't cool. And this is why this isn't cool. I think people wanted her to go off on him, but I don't think that's necessary. I think it's more
I
just
I also don't think that's Nicole's style of
no, that's not her
like
personality.
discussing things. No, it's not her
That's not her
personality
personality.
whatsoever.
I think she's more like a let's just talk about this and 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 since and when she did that with Kayla, I do think she did have a conversation with him. We just didn't
Mhm.
see it. It looked like she did because he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I do think they had a conversation. We probably just didn't see it, but
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that couple. I just think Kendall is just, I'm just not a fan of him. So
I'm slowly slipping away from, enjoying Kendall and
right. And so it's just that kind of like, oh, okay. But like I said, Nicole is doing what she needs to do. And so I'm okay with them being a couple. I do think there's still some tests to come for them.
yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Um,
Especially with this bombshell that we're getting at some
who's
point this
interested
week,
in her.
who said
And
specifically her.
Nicole and Catherine, which I was very shocked about. And I was like, oh, okay. Because
I'm
honestly,
excited. I'm excited for the potential of Catherine staying in the villa. I gotta be
yeah, I do
honest.
think after all of this happens, it's only going to be two Casa girls that stay in the villa, and she is one of those people.
And I
And
don't
Daniela
think
might
the
be the
one
other
that
one.
and I don't think the one that I want to stay is gonna
Nope, nope,
stay.
she's leaving. She's leaving. She's leaving.
Yeah.
It's happening. She's leaving. But it might. I think two and maybe possibly three of them will stay. But I feel like
And honestly, we're talking about Sierra. I think if
yeah,
Sierra goes at this point, I don't want to go too far ahead, but I think if Sierra goes, based on what we saw of her in this episode, it wouldn't surprise me.
I think the only way she pivots is if she takes Kane from Liv, which is a possibility.
I
It
also
could
think it's a
happen.
possibility.
It's definitely a possibility.
I
So
really don't. Why are we bringing in a woman? She seems lovely, but why are we bringing in a
I
woman?
don't know why we're bringing in a woman. We should be
Unless you're.
bringing in two
I,
men.
I hope they bring in more men, but it sounds like it's just going to be a
It's just
bloodbath.
gonna be
So
those
I'm
two.
worried for my faves.
But you know what? I
Mm.
said possibly. I think. Well, we'll get to that point. Let me not go there. Well, we already talked about him. So,
I'm pretty sure I know where you're headed,
I
but
think Cassie
uh huh,
coming in,
uh huh,
she could potentially take Rob,
yeah,
and I
they
wouldn't be
have
mad at it.
history.
They have history. They know
He
each
was
other.
he was in her
Her
casa last year.
absolutely, and they talked, and they got along very well. She was close to
Cassie
bringing him
Cassie
back.
was Cassie was recruited to get Rob to the end of this season.
Yep,
Period. Like
absolutely, because I think
that's what it is.
that's what it is. And whatever, they still not gonna win, but
No.
maybe well, if they do win, it'd be off the back
It
of Cassie.
it absolutely. And I think Cassie seems like a lovely girl. I didn't watch her season.
Mm-mm.
I'm excited to see as well. And there's the other caveat of that, in that Cassie and Harrison were both on the same season last year. I
Right.
don't know whether there's anything there.
I don't think so. I think that they kind of was like, we know what. I think they just know what they're going in for, and they are
Yeah.
going into. And I think she is. I think her having that history with Rob and Rob needing some comfortability
Hmm.
in that villa because I don't think he's ever felt comfortable with anybody outside of Andrea.
I agree.
I think he will be very open and willing to drop Daniela at the drop of a dime and get with Cass because it's like we know each other. We got close last season.
Hmm.
We were like she was potentially bringing him back to the villa with her. So apparently they got close enough where she was thinking about bringing him back. So
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
interesting. But let's move on to Kenny and Janae because first of
I
all, Love Island producers. I have a bone to pick with you
oh
because you will not. I said after the recoupling, you will not get me to feel bad for a single man in this villa. I am not going to feel bad for a single man in this villa. And then you tried to get me. You tried to make me feel bad for Kenny when he had the conversation with Janae, and she told him, "Look, I am not going to fight for no man, and you brought her back. You made your choice because I will take myself out of the equation." And he was like, "Well, no, that's not what it is. That's not my choice." Like, all we keep hearing, "That's not my choice" from these men all episode. That's not my choice, but it
Right.
is your choice because you brought them back
Mm-hmm.
and you tried to test the relationship. Well, guess what, babes? It's tested. You did it. Congratulations. But then, producers, you tried to make me feel bad for Kenny because Kenny starts crying. Janae's crying. Kenny's crying. And he's sobbing like, and I'm like, "Oh, Kenny, Kenny, you finna make me feel bad." Oh, I was just about to be like, "Oh, Janae, girl, give him a chance." Until
Oh
the
no.
next day, your next breath, you go to Catherine and was like, "I said what I said to make her feel better because I felt bad for her in that moment."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? What? So if you still wanted her, Kenny, if you were still trying to explore with both of them, tell me one thing. What was Janae's breakfast? You brought Catherine breakfast, and you didn't give it to him. Like, I ain't saying give it to him at the same time in the same room like somebody else who did that, which was stupid. But you didn't even go talk to her. You didn't pull up for a chat the next day. You didn't. You ain't do nothing. You ain't do nothing. So y'all tried to make me feel bad for this man, but no, no, no.
Here's the thing with the Kenny situation. I feel a little just a smidge bad. I don't like seeing someone full on breakdown sobbing in that way, and I think the way that he's feeling is 100% valid, and I'm glad that we saw that emotion from him. It's clear he cares about Janae more than
Mm-hmm.
Catherine. It's
Mm-hmm.
clear to me. I don't love the comment that he made to Catherine either, but I think the main reason he didn't do anything with Janae that next day is to give her space. I don't think he needed to be all up under Janae on this occasion. I think that would have been more damaging.
Show something, a gesture, make her a coffee. That's it.
I Yes and no. I
Because
agree
if
with
you're,
you. And
I feel
yeah.
like the fighting of it all, it's like if you're still trying to fight for her, and this person has said, "I'm taking myself out the equation," I'm gonna be like, you know what? I deserve that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little. Here, I made you some coffee. Have a great day, and leave. Give them all the space they want, but you still have to stay present in their life. You still have to let them know that I'm still around. Because if you keep giving me space, it just lets me know that you don't care in my mind. And that's what I'm talking out of a mind of a woman here.
Mhm.
If you're giving me space after I said I don't want anything to do with you, that lets me know that you agree with me, that you don't want nothing to do with me either. If you just give me a little gesture, like on the outside world, a text to say, "Good morning, just thinking about you." Boom.
Mhm.
You ain't got to call. You ain't got to come over. You ain't got that little gesture, that little text to make me look at the phone and be like, "I told this boy I didn't want nothing to do with him, but here he go." And I'm gonna think about that text all day, all day. That's how we are operated. That's how we think.
Mhm.
That's how we are wired. It's the little things. And that's what men don't realize. It's the little things
Mhm.
that mean so much more than the big grand gesture. If he would have just walked by and say, "Hey, Janae, just want to let you know I'm thinking about you today," and kept it moving, he would have been like, "Oh,
And I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for future days, and
yes."
I think we will see it from Kenny. I honestly just think what we got from him in this episode was him giving her space
Mm-hmm.
and still making sure that, like, because it's obviously an awkward situation for Catherine to be in. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that he had
Yes.
that conversation with Catherine. I think ultimately he's going to end up going back to Janae, and I think Harrison is going to come in and swoop up Catherine, and I'm
Me
okay with
too.
that because you know
Me
what?
too.
I'm really appreciating more than maybe any of the other Casa girls. I'm really appreciating the way Catherine is coming into this scenario. Like I think she's being very respectful of the whole situation. It seems like her and Janae may have been talking a little bit based on some of the group stuff we saw in the night situation.
Mm-hmm.
They were at least like next to each other. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
hatred there. I still
Yeah,
want, like I talked about in the last episode, I still hope that Janae and Catherine have a conversation.
I think they will.
Um, because there's no, in the way that we saw, we'll talk about Serena and Dea in this episode. I think we'll see that from them. And I think once Janae gets the conversation from Catherine being like, yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
had this connection, but he would not stop talking about
Talking
you.
about
I
right.
think that is going to be the pivot that Janae needs to come
Absolutely.
back to Kenny. And I think we're going to see it. I think she just needs to express her feelings and
Yes.
take a moment outside of the situation to look at it with a more bird's eye view.
Yes.
And I do think ultimately we're going to see Janae come back with Kenny.
Yes.
And I think they make it to the end of the season. I got to be
I do.
honest. I
I
really do.
agree. I do too. I
I think
totally agree
if
with
they
you.
come back together, they have a
They could
great
win.
shot at winning.
Absolutely.
And that is
Absolutely.
the scenario where I think if they win, it will be for both Janae and for Kenny.
I think it'll be 60-40. 60
Agreed.
40, 60 for Janae,
I
40 for
would
Kenny.
even maybe say like 65-35 because people really we are writing for Janae.
Yeah.
We want Janae to find love. We want Janae to find a connection, and she has it. I think she just needs to process her feelings, get it out of her system, and have another like good conversation with Kenny. Kenny
Yeah.
just needs to get a little bit better at communicating himself because
Yeah.
he is not the best at communication,
It
but
might
he's
be even
working on it.
80-20. It might be
It might even
80-20.
be 80-20.
It might
There's
even
still
be 80-20.
it's mostly for Janae.
Yes.
I'll say 70-30. I think that's a fine compromise for now. But
I do think you're right. I do think Janae just needs to process. And I feel like that with a lot of people, with another couple. I feel like right now the emotions are just so high and it's very much very like uh so fresh and they just need moments to process, get some clarity, woosah a little bit, breathe.
mhm.
And yeah, I think Janae is one of those, she's very, and this is not a bad thing, but she's very emotional and she's very much like when her feelings are hurt, they're hurt. And it takes a minute like to process all of that. And so I get it. I do think I do think Kenny likes her more than he likes Catherine. And that's not a bad thing on Catherine. That's not anything bad against her. And I am not for y'all talking bad about Catherine. That girl's beautiful. She does not look like Dory. So stop doing that. Stop doing that online. Y'all stop messing with that girl. That girl's beautiful. Um, but all these girls are beautiful. We might not like them, but I'm not gonna shame them and call them names like that. That's not cool. But uh I think that okay, I'm like, is it you or is it me? It was you.
My electricity just surged in my
Ah,
apartment. So no,
got
it's
it.
very me. I am back. I did not hear anything you just said in the last minute.
Oop. Okay. Well,
Because
I was
I
saying
completely froze. I thought it was fully going to be a pause the recording. I have to reset my router situation, but no, we are good.
we're good. Okay, cool. I was just saying I'm not going to talk about these girls because I think they're all beautiful, and I don't like it
Yes.
when y'all talk about Catherine does not look like Dory. She's beautiful.
Stop. She is a
Stop doing
gorgeous.
that.
She is like, honestly, if she isn't a model already, I think she should be because she's got that gorgeous. She's a little bit more of a masculinely beautiful woman. And I am mad at that personally.
I think
So,
she's beautiful, and all the girls are beautiful. We go stop talking about them and calling them names. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna do that here. But I don't particularly like all of them, but I'm not gonna call them names because they are
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. But yeah, I think it's just going to take some time, I think, this week to process, mull it over, and then get that moment of clarity. Like, even though I was upset with you, I still want to be with you. And I think Janae is going to have that conversation with Kenny. And I think Kenny is going to have to make that decision very quickly. He's definitely going to have to make that decision very quickly. And I think the decision is going to be made if um, Harrison comes in and actually really goes after Catherine and wants to talk to Catherine, and she falls for him. And I don't see why she wouldn't, because that man is gorgeous. Look, somebody, I think Johnny Banana said he looks like he could be part of the Hemsworth family, and I was like, absolutely, he
Literally.
looks like he could be. Absolutely, he looks like he could be. But yeah, so I think they got a chance. But
yes, definitely.
we move on to Leah and Miguel because and Serena Sierra. That's an interesting thing. Leah, like Miguel pulls Leah, everybody starts clapping to make it obvious that he's pulling her, and I'm like, y'all are
That
stupid. Y'all
felt
foul.
so shady.
That
That
was the
felt so
shadiest thing
shady.
ever. That was the
Shady
shadiest
little
thing.
boots in the shade. I felt bad for Sierra.
I felt like that was shady as ever. Like, she already had to
Yeah.
stand up there and listen to this man say, "We are not in a relationship. I'm
Right.
still trying to talk." Like, y'all don't
And
have to do
then
that.
couple that with the whole breakfast situation that they have too. Like it just now
But
this
first of
is
all,
where
Sierra
yeah.
girl. Sierra
Girl, you
girl.
see him still cooking over there.
You don't know if he cooking for you or for him. You just like assume he's just making it for himself.
I was like, if she goes home, that's why. And honestly, like I like Sierra. I think she's a good girl. I like her. I think she's beautiful. I think she's stunning. Girl, you need to be a little bit more secure in
Right.
yourself and your
Mm-hmm.
connection with him. I just breathe, girly.
Breathe.
Okay, I'm not the world's biggest fan of Daniela either, but her facial expressions in this whole segment where she's just like, and then she's the first one to go, "Do you feel better, Sierra?"
Yeah.
I found Daniela so entertaining in this episode. I gotta be honest.
I was just like,
Um,
girl.
girl, come on now.
I was like, relax. You just got here.
Uh-huh. It is the first morning in the villa. Breathe, please.
How about some? He hasn't even talked to me. Like, what's stopping you from going over there to talk to him?
Right, girl. Like, anyway,
I'm
yeah.
just like,
So,
oh my God. This is my problem with all of the girls. All of them. OJ and Casa girls. They expect these men to be the ones to come talk to them all the time. And you didn't pull me for a check. You didn't pull him from a check. And if you
except
know,
for Liv.
my thing is,
Liv is the one that, yeah.
if you know, but see, in this point, Liv don't even got nothing to do with this, because if you know, because Liv got her one man and that's it.
Well,
But
no,
if
but I'm
you
just saying Liv is the one girl that has pulled guys for chats that isn't afraid to do it. That's what I mean.
right, oh yeah, but like if
That's what I
you
meant by
know,
that, yeah.
yeah, if you know that this man got somebody else who he's interested in, and you want to be the girl, why not go pull him yourself? Why not go in that kitchen while he making breakfast and be like, "Oh, what you doing? Oh, you making this for me? Oh, you're so sweet." Like, you put on the charms so he feels like you are showing him that attention as well. I ain't saying you got to flirt and open your legs wide and spread for this man.
Uh-huh.
You ain't got to be all up in his face, but you could go over there and, like I said, it's the little things. It's the
Mhm.
little things that make people realize that, oh, don't forget, I'm still here. I don't want you
Mhm.
to ever think I'm not relevant right now, and I'm just gonna sit back and let the connection that we have die. So I'm
That's
gonna walk over.
not. Girl, don't do that.
Right. I would just walk over in that kitchen like, "Hey, what you doing? Oh, that's sweet. Oh, you making me breakfast? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet."
I still
Touch
think,
him on the arm and then move on.
right.
Well, I'm
I
gonna be sitting
still
over
think,
there.
I still think given everything and given the chat that Miguel has with Leah. I do still think in the next recoupling, Miguel goes back to Leah. I really do think that
Absolutely.
happens.
Unless Sierra step up her game. See, that's the thing, y'all. This is still a game, and you got to play the part. You have to play the part, and these girls act like they don't. All they got to do is sit there and look pretty. You got to play the part, homegirl. You got to put on your little bikini, put on your makeup and your shades, and you need to walk around there and make him remember why he chose you in the first place. That's in life. That's in any job. You ain't just go sit back if you want a job and just wait till they come to you. You got to go get it. You got to call them and be like, hey, I put in an application. Did you get it? I would like to just review just to check and make sure you got it and da 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 da. You can't just put the application in and just wait because maybe they don't call you back. It's 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 a game, people. It's a game.
Yeah. Definitely. But
that's it.
Where did we? No, not really. Honestly, I think this is the most mellow of the connections. This is the one that's most obvious to me.
Yeah, because he really made it known that he likes Leah more.
I want to get to the spicy. I want to get to
we have to get. Yeah.
Do we have another one?
Well,
okay. So living Kane talk. You know what? I've come around to Kane. I think I like Kane, and I like Kane with Liv because we're seeing sides of Liv that we haven't seen yet this season from anybody other than Rob.
Mm-hmm.
I still think there's a universe where maybe they have something, and I wouldn't be mad at it personally. But yeah, Liv and Kane talk. They really have like one conversation, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time?
I don't see why not. It's the Serena and the Cordell and Daya of it all.
Cordell and Daya.
I mean, we start with breakfast because that's where it starts. And Cordell decides he's going to make both Daya and Serena breakfast. And he's going to take it up to him. And he's like, I'm scared. And Kendall was like, oh, no, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I'm like, in what world is that a great idea? But he's like, I'm scared, though. I'm scared to go up there. Rob was like, you want me to go with you? He was like, would you? He's like, yeah, I got your back. I got your back. So they go upstairs and he walks in with 2 plates of food and he gives one to Diane. And she's like, oh, thank you. That's so great. I appreciate it. And Serena, from the corner of her eye, she putting on her makeup and she like, don't you even do that. Don't you even bring that over here. In that moment, Cordell should have about faced and walked away.
Agreed.
He should have about faced and walked away. When she said, don't even bring that over here. Don't even do it. And he like, well, I made it for you. And she was like, I don't want it. And he kept walking. And she took her hand and said, woof, smashed that plate against his chest. And they both, Serena. I'm like, don't Serena her. She told him. And then he was like, well, I made it for you. And he put it on his hand. And she's like, I don't want it. I don't want that. Here's the thing. And I know people are like, she should have been so appreciative and should have accepted the food. No. She is hurt.
Yes.
She is hurt. You can't expect hurt people to just automatically the next day get over what they are hurt about.
I agree. I didn't want her to be appreciative of it. I do personally think slamming the food into him, I think personally that was a bit too far. And this is where I knew we were going to fight. Her feelings are so valid. She is hurt. She's a hurt individual. I absolutely get it. For me, I think it just would have been better had she just ignored him altogether. That, like, the shoving the food into him for me was just a touch too far. That's I didn't like it. It brought out this side of Serena I didn't like seeing. But again, I understand why she did it. I get why she did it. I understand it from her perspective. I wouldn't have done it personally. I get why she did it. I didn't love seeing that side of Serena.
Everybody has sides that are not good sides, and I don't expect
Yes.
everybody to be have every great side. We don't have to like seeing people when they're on their bad behavior, but people have bad sides. And it's like,
Yes.
I don't like seeing you like that. Well, then don't make me go there, because all of what we've seen from Serena has been very cool, calm, very, thought out, well planned. And she said it. She was like, if he comes back with another girl, y'all go see a side of Serena you ain't never seen before. And I'm like, I felt it. It's very relatable when she has been done dirty so many times in her life and she told him about it and he decided to still bring her back because despite of all the stuff that they went through, he brought out the side that we maybe is not palatable for most people. But she ain't got to be palatable for y'all because her feelings are so real and raw. And she told him, don't bring that over here. Don't bring that over here. Like, it's not like he was not warned. It's not like she didn't tell him. It's not like he
Agreed.
didn't know.
Agreed.
So I'm like, we can't get mad at her because we saw a side. And
Oh,
not saying you were mad. Not saying you were mad. I'm not
yeah.
saying I'm talking about
And
you.
I'm not.
I'm just,
And I'm not
right.
because her feelings are so valid.
We can't.
I just wouldn't have gone that far personally.
You ain't her. And that's the thing.
Hmm.
And that's what I want to talk about for everybody. We are not her. We are
Yes.
not in her feelings. So to say what I would do personally means absolutely jack shit.
Agreed.
Like, it means
Agreed.
nothing, because what I would do is not what you would do. What you would do is not what the other person would do. What the other person, but we all are different people. And so I was so mad because after I watched it, I got on TikTok and there was a whole group of people on a live talking about how bad Serena is and how awful she is and how she should go. And this was assault and this is crazy. And
Were they
she's
all white?
mostly.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, no, like I said, I think her feelings are 100% valid. I think what she did, I'm not particularly mad at it. I'm not mad at her about it. I think all of her reactions this episode were very warranted and valid. I would have liked to see it happen a different way. I just wish would have
Hmm.
ignored it. I think
Hmm.
ignoring it probably would have been. I think ignoring it would have done more to hurt Cordell. And if her intent is not necessarily to hurt Cordell, but to like just eliminate herself from Cordell, period, I think ignoring him completely would have done more to aid that on his end than anything else.
I feel like ignoring him would, I agree with you, ignoring him would have hurt. But I also feel like ignoring him is not something she could actually do because she actually genuinely cares for him.
And
These
I
are the
agree with you
feel
completely.
these are the
I agree with you
feelings of
completely.
somebody who actually genuinely cares for somebody and they feel betrayed. And she's like, yeah, I could try to ignore him, but in my head, that's all I see. And like when they get to the dock, all of that comes out because that's her feelings start coming out on that dock. But yeah, everybody was like, um, so and so Janae was like, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Cordell. And Leah was like, saying good morning, Cordell is crazy. And I'm like, just as crazy as you in there agreeing with Miguel, like Janae's overreacting. She's crazy.
The way that they psychoanalyzed everyone and all of their opinions were strong and wrong, I was like, all right now.
Right. I'm like, oh, y'all are
But
crazy. Like, I still want to, we're going to have to talk about at the end about some other dynamics that happen in the villa without the couples. But yeah. Um,
I don't
oh,
remember.
I'll tell y'all, we'll get to it.
I'll
But
remember it as soon as I get there. But I was gonna say, is there anything else to dive into before we dive into the big fight?
no, because I want to get to, since we're just doing by couples, I want to talk about Serena and Cordell and their fight, but we'll go back and do the
Okay.
analyst of the little
Let's
things around the villa. Yeah, we'll circle
yeah,
back to the villa stuff.
let's
But
go let's go to the fight then
yeah,
because
because
we go to that night.
we get that night, everybody's getting dressed, and they go down and have the conversation. Miguel and Cordell are on the dock talking, and they're talking about, you know, Miguel's still like, you didn't do anything wrong, bro. You did nothing wrong. You did what you had to do. Blah blah blah. You look happy. You look great with her, with Daya. Da 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 da. All that stuff. Still hyping up Cordell. Constantly hyping up Cordell. And so, um,
Yeah, so they're hyping each other up. Mia's like, you did nothing wrong, blah, 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 blah. This is where we get, and I'm happy we got a conversation between Serena and Daya. Okay, this is where my confusion was, Lana. And I hope that you can clarify some things for me to remember, because I was a little confused by this whole scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Daya is kind of lying out her ass a little bit here, right?
No.
And the main reason I say that, and the main reason I'm confused, is because when she says, oh, the boys were telling me, oh, Cordell's like never been happier, like there's blah, 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 blah. That's true.
Yes.
But he did also tell the guys that he's still feeling Serena more than Daya.
He told the guys that he is feeling Serena still, but Daya is very much creeping up to the same position.
The 90-10 situation that Miguel came up, that never happened.
That never happened.
But I'm also like, okay, and that's fine. And if that's the blow up with Kendall and Miguel, in that manner makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the argument and the blow up that Serena had with Kendall and with Miguel. The blow up she had was about the talking, like saying the same thing to both girls.
Mm-hmm.
Both statements are true. That's where I'm confused, because I'm like, and again, Serena's feelings here are 100% valid. I understand her blowing up on Cordell as well as Kendall and Miguel, because the 90-10 comment, I get that. That isn't what she went to them with, though. What she went with was the when she didn't also really, say a whole lot to Miguel or Kendall in that regard. And I wish the one takeaway I had from Serena in this blow up, and again, her feelings are valid. Her anger is valid. I get it. I wish she had listened to Miguel and Kendall a little bit more.
I wish she would listen to everybody a little bit more.
And Cordell. I wish she had just listened a little bit more instead. And she needed to get those feelings out. And I get it.
Those conversations need to happen later on when she's not so bad.
I hope they do.
I hope they do.
Because my confusion was that her anger was towards the the boys are saying the same thing to both girls. Those statements are those are not mutually exclusive statements. Both statements can be true to an extent. There was a little bit of fabrication going on with the other boys trying to, smooth out the situation. That she is more than she's more than happy to have. Her anger is very valid. Her anger is very justified. I could not think of the word justified there for a second. Thank you. Her anger is very justified in that. But that's not what she went to them with. And so I wish she had listened specifically more to Miguel. I get her not listening to Cordell. I wish she had listened to Miguel a little bit more in the moment, because I think that would have clarified a whole lot. And I think Miguel gets brought into this as collateral damage almost. And I was like, I just didn't like it. I wish that had just been a one-on-one and they had just done that, instead of her in that moment bringing in Kendall and saying, fuck you, Kendall, you're a liar. Fuck you, Miguel, you're a liar. Fuck all the guys, which also, not all the guys are involved.
So I do think that you're right in some things. I don't think she was upset with the fact that they said the same thing. I think that was what Daya was trying to say she was upset for. I don't think it was because they were saying the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
What I think she was upset about was the fact that these boys, especially Kendall, I think more Kendall than Miguel,
Yeah.
who spent a lot of time with her, been there since day one, um, been hyping him up, been trying to, get
Very
her
much
to
so a girl's guy in a lot
right,
of ways, more than any of the other guys. And
right.
like the way that he's been fabricating things a little bit hasn't been the best.
And it's not even about the fabrication. I think she was more upset about the comment of I've never seen him happier with anybody else than he's been with you.
Yep.
And he said that to Daya. He said that to Cordell. You have never looked happier with Serena than you have
Hmm.
with Daya. And Miguel has said the same thing. But then they both came back to the villa and was like, he was talking about you nonstop. He just really wants to be with you. You should really listen to him and hear him out. Ask him why he brought her back. Like, why would you? So, what is it? Is he really wanting to come back to me, or you never see is he happier with her? I think it was the back and forth of you need to give him a chance to talk and da 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 because he's never been happier with you. Like he's so happy with you, but then you go and tell her that he's happier with you. He's never been happy with anybody. It's the back and forth, and it was very much like, so y'all supposed to be my friends. Like, why are you going to this girl telling her he's happier with her when you supposed to be my brother? Like, we've been here. Y'all can't even go to the villa and like hype me up. Like, you can't even go to the casa and hype me up. Like, you see him doing something, be like, just don't forget about Serena. Oh, I'm not forgetting about Serena. I'm just trying to explore. And it's just, I feel like she was very upset because both Miguel and Kendall and Rob and Aaron all went to her and was like, he's still so much into you. You definitely need to hear him out. He talks about you nonstop and da da da. But they all turned around and told this girl that he's never been happier. So I think that's where the upset feelings came from. I don't think it was because they told them the same thing. I think that was what Daya got from the conversation, but I didn't get that. I didn't get that spin of it. She was
Hmm.
upset because y'all was supposed to be her friends and y'all went and was hyping this girl up to him and y'all
Yeah.
were putting me down in the process. He's never been happier with her than he is with you.
That's
What?
fucked. Yeah, and I
That's
agree.
messed up.
I wish, yes, I agree with that completely. And her anger in that regard, 100% justified. I wish she had just been able to convey her feelings a little bit more succinctly. And I get it, anger takes over and you're not always the clearest in your communication. And I know that firsthand.
Me too. Me
Because I
too.
am very much so that way.
Absolutely.
I was like, there's got to be some Taurus somewhere in Serena's chart because the way she has reacted to all of this with just the coldness and then the blunt anger out of nowhere is very me, and I'm like, there's got to be some earth and fire in her chart for sure. I would love to do that sometime. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, her anger is justified. I do wish she had just listened a little bit more to Cordell, and that's why Cordell gets so frustrated in this argument. I'm not defending necessarily Cordell here, but
Mhm,
I did agree with a lot of what he was saying. He's like, "You're not even letting me talk. You
mhm.
just want this to be a one-sided situation where you get all your anger out without letting me talk about what's going on." And in that way, I also relate very much so to Cordell in this scenario because I've had that situation happen to me very frequently. So I I get it. Everyone could have done a little bit better in this conversation to do things and stuff.
All I know, I mean, I get what Cordell was saying. He really wanted to
Yeah.
explain himself. But what is there to explain Cordell? That is the question. What do you have to say that you think would justify what you did?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to explore. He said that. And she said, yes, I wanted you to explore. You could explore, but in a respectful way, the same way I explored in a respectful way. You were
Yes.
very disrespectful. And he admitted that he was disrespectful. He said he effed up, he messed up. I get it. And I don't know about you, but if I was dying and I heard him say, she's not my choice, I would have been like, oh,
Bye.
what? Bye. If I'm not your
But
choice,
we
then
gotta,
why am
but
I
we
here?
gotta
But
remember, die is not there
we
for the right
we
reasons.
know, so it really
So
don't matter. It don't really matter. But
nope.
um, but like, what does he have to explain that he did or didn't do? That she could, what is it for him to explain? It doesn't make any sense because you did what you did. What I'm upset about is that you were disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm hurt about. That is what bothers me is that you went over there and you were disrespectful. What are you going to say? Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry. That means nothing to me right now.
Right.
So you're sorry. Okay, I accept your apology. But that doesn't obtain my hurt. That doesn't stop my feelings from being hurt that you went over there and were disrespectful. So what is
Mm-hmm.
it that you want to explain?
Right.
That is the whole thing. And I'm like, Cordell, you really have no leg to stand on right now because what you did was disrespectful. You know it was disrespectful. You knew it was disrespectful when you were doing it. You continued to do it after you acknowledged it was disrespectful. And so now you come back and you bring her with you to flaunt this new relationship in his face, in her face. He's like, well, that's not what I was doing, but that's what you did. Like if he would have came back alone, I think she would have been more apt to listen to him. But the fact that you came back and brought her with you, let her know you made the choice. So what
Mm-hmm.
do you want her to do? What is it that you want her to explain? So I don't know. I don't should she have listened to him? Okay. But what was there that he was going to say that was going to try to appease or ease her mind at all?
I don't know, honestly. Yeah, I see what you mean for sure.
That's my whole thing. And everybody's like, well, she didn't let him talk. Say what? He brought the girl back. All of the stuff that she saw, he brought her back.
Yeah, nothing he could have said in that moment would have, changed any of her feelings in that moment.
His whole problem is he brought her back. If he
Yeah,
wouldn't have brought her back, this would have been a completely different situation. But he
agreed.
brought her back. And
Agreed.
so now Serena feels like the choice is already made. He doesn't. And I don't know. As much as I wanted Serena and Cordell to fix it and come back together, I don't think it's happening because Serena's very headstrong. And Serena's very much like my pride is very important to me.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know. I would love for them to make it through where she has a moment of clarity. Is like the reason I'm feeling like this is because I really like him like that. And if I really like him like that, maybe I just need to show him that I like him like that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But that fight was epic and it will go down in Love Island history, I think, as an
Yep.
epic fight. But really quickly around stuff that happened around the villa that I was like,
Uh huh.
Daniela lying to Kaylor was wild to me. Like, what?
And the fact that we know that movie night is coming up this week too, and she's literally gonna see it.
That's why when the preview happened and Aaron talked about I'm gonna ask her in a couple of days to be my girlfriend. I'm like, hold off on that, buddy. Hold off on that. But she's lying to her. The Casa girls acting like the OG girls are so mean. Oh my god, why do they make us feel so unwelcome? I don't understand. Like, are they
And
always
then
like
the
that?
one girl to make them fucking feel welcome is Kaylor. And then you just lie straight to her.
And I'm like, baby girls, I need y'all all to put yourselves in their shoes because if the roles were
Yep.
reversed, you will be acting the same way and you
Yep.
wouldn't want to welcome them either. So stop acting, just suck it up, let's deal with the fallout and then we'll go on about our business. Maybe we'll get to a point where we're all comfortable around each other eventually. But as of right now, 2 days in or a day in, the night of, yeah, they're not going to be like, oh, by the way, hello, how are you? Welcome to the villa. Let me show you a tour. Like,
right, literally.
no, that's not happening. Danielle lying to Kaylor, Aaron sugarcoating his relationship with Daniela. We pecked, Aaron. You pecked. You pecked a couple times. That's what you're gonna tell Kaylor. You pecked. When you full out made out, tongue shoved down her throat several times. You tried to get in the girl's panties on the ninth one. The ninth one. Come on. Okay. Uh Stop. Stop. This weird back and forth with Janae and Leah is still weird. I don't know what I don't know I don't know what Leah's problem is with Janae and why they making weird comments to each other or about each other, not to each other, but about each other. More so Leah to Janae about Janae. So I'm just like, girl, what is it? I don't get it. Um Other
Yeah.
than that, I just feel like the Casa girls really need to stop acting like they would be okay with this if the roles were reversed.
And it feels like some of them might be getting their comeuppance in that regard because we see the
Mm-hmm.
preview for next episode and we get it's the social media challenge,
Yep.
which I knew was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be very fun.
Very revealing.
I think it's going to be very revealing. I hope I hope I hope that there is a post in there somewhere about Kenny wanting to stay loyal to Janae and still caring about Janae, and I hope we get that fucking post. Someone,
Right.
please.
Yes. Yes.
I hope so.
Because it was a lot of posts out there talking about how Kenny mentioned Janae night one. Like, I am
Literally.
never going to get I don't think any of these
I
girls have the warmth of
am
Janae.
hopeful.
I'm
I am
hopeful.
hopeful. I think producers want Janae and Kenny to work, and so I am
Yes.
hopeful.
Yes. I think they want Kenny and Janae to work. I think they want Serena and Cordell to work, but they gonna have to work
That ain't
overtime to
happening.
make that work.
That is not happening. Nope.
But we do see Daniela crying in the preview, so I'm like, ooh, what happened? So it's going to be interesting. I think the Casa girls are going to get a reality check to see how people actually view them.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly what the Daniela crying situation is going to be about because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a tweet about her being a homie hopper. 100%. Because no one has said that directly. They've called her that. Liv said that about her, but it hasn't been directly to her face. And I think when she hears it from the outside, I think that's what's going to get her emotional.
Because, baby, that's what you are, though.
I
mean, we can't be mad that that's what you did. You can't get mad at what you did. You are a homie hopper. But that's that. I think we talked everything because tonight's episode is going to be juicy. Like we said, we're getting the social media challenge. We get some more fallout from this episode. And
so what do you think then the timeline of things is? Because I'm thinking it's going to be social media challenge. I think we're getting a recoupling on Thursday.
I think the movie night first, Thursday, before the recoupling happens.
So movie night Thursday.
Because the bombshells are going to come in.
Yeah. Because they're not coming in next episode.
I don't think they're coming in this next
Okay, so then we're not going to get a recoupling until what?
Maybe
Sunday?
Monday. Well, Sunday or Monday, I think.
But we're getting the fan vote too, because Ariana said we're getting the bloodbath.
We are getting a fan vote.
So that's where I'm confused. Where I'm like,
so you think the bombshells don't come until after the fan vote?
I think so. But if we're seeing Harrison say, "Oh, I'm interested in Catherine," then there has to be,
he got to come in before, right?
Okay, so then if tomorrow is or tonight, okay. Tuesday is a social media challenge. Wednesday, we don't have anything.
We're off. Right.
Thursday, then, would have to be bombshells.
Bombshells and movie
Or
night.
we get them the same day.
Same day. Yeah, we get the movie night happening and then the bombshells
Friday,
come in.
Friday, we're here.
The fallout.
Friday is the fallout. Sunday is the recoupling. Because that would
Sunday's
give the
probably.
bombshells enough time to settle. Well, they haven't really been giving the bombshells a whole lot of time to settle in, though, let's be honest. But
Right.
so I think we're getting a recoupling on Sunday, with then we're going to get another fallout of the recoupling on Monday. I think is what we're going to get.
A fan vote on Monday?
I guess.
Because they are known to do a recoupling and then a fan vote after that.
But we're getting it this week, is what Ariana said, so I'm confused.
Maybe
so recoupling Friday?
Maybe the bombshells come in on Thursday.
We can't do a bombshell Thursday immediate recoupling.
The movie night, bombshell Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Fan vote on Friday. But
okay.
But the bombshells are excluded in that fan vote because they just got there, so it really wouldn't matter. And I don't think it's going to be couples. I think it's going to be people.
Oh, so it's all going to be individual voting, do you think?
I think it might be people instead of couples. And if it's people, them Casa girls are in trouble.
Oh, yeah, no, they're done.
If it's people, the Casa girls are in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know. But whatever it is, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what the timeline is going to be, but it's going to be crazy, wild, bloodbath, like you said, like Ariana said. And we're getting a mass dumping. Like, we're losing like 4 people, I think.
Because, okay, we've got 17 people in the villa right now.
Mm-hmm.
We only have, what, 7 guys?
Yeah, and then
when six couples, one single guy, and 4 single girls. So that's 7 and 10. With Harrison and Cassie, then it'll be 8 and 11, which means 4 girls are getting dumped.
Yep.
And it very well could be. I think it's going to be 3 Casa. No, I think it's going to be 2 Casa girls and 2 of our faves are going. I
think Serena's gonna go.
I am already preparing myself for Serena being eliminated. I'm already preparing it. Unless she somehow hits it off with Harrison.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. But
I don't see it happening either.
Yeah. I fear that we might lose Serena and Liv.
Yeah.
I think we're going to lose Serena, Liv, Sierra.
Possibly Daniela. Because Cassie can come in and take Rob.
Possibly Cassie.
You think
Cassie? That last spot is either going to be Daniela or Cassie.
You think Cassie will... No, she's going to be... I don't think they're going to let Cassie be... I think she's going to be exempt. Because she just got there.
But they didn't do that with Cassidy and what's his face?
Nigel. You're right.
Yeah, they didn't do that. Cassidy was only in there for 3 days. She wasn't exempt from that fan vote. Then they voted her out.
That is true.
So I don't think they're going to make Cassie exempt for this one. If it's a situation where it's bombshells immediate bloodbath, then I think Cassie and Harrison will be safe.
Right.
But I think if it's a couple of days in between, then I don't think we're going to get it. I do think we're getting a bloodbath on Friday.
Okay.
Which means that I think Cassie and Harrison would be exempt.
Right.
Which means then I think it would be Serena, Liv, Sierra, and Daniela.
Mm-hmm.
As of this moment.
Yeah. We'll see how Cassie and Rob react.
Well, then who does Kane end up with? It can't be Liv. Because I think right now Kane picks Liv.
Right now. But see, we have to see what happens because I feel like other girls are going to go start talking to Kane. And if Kane is not getting the feelings from Liv.
If it's a guy's pick, which I'm assuming it is, then Kendall picks Nicole.
Absolutely.
Who does Cordell? Cordell picks Daya.
Picks Daya.
Rob picks. I'm gonna probably say Cassie at this point. Rob picks Cassie. Aaron picks Kaylor.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny picks Janae.
Mm-hmm. Harrison picks.
Harrison
Kat.
picks. I'm gonna say Catherine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kat. Who does
Who am I
Kane
missing?
pick?
Kane picks Liv, I think.
And Miguel picks Leah.
And Miguel picks Leah. So we lose Serena, Daniela, Sierra. The math ain't mathin'. Right? The math ain't mathin'.
No, hold on. Okay, Kendall picks Nicole.
I'm going to the app. Hold on.
No, I'm doing it down. Kendall picks Nicole.
Yes.
Aaron picks Kaylor. Kenny picks Janae. Rob picks Cassie.
Yeah.
Cordell picks Daya.
Yes.
Kane picks Liv.
Or Sierra. If Sierra puts in the work, I could see it, but I still think it might be Liv. I'm going to say Liv
for now. Let's say Liv for now. Kane picks Liv.
Yeah.
Harrison picks Catherine. Who am I missing? Oh, Miguel picks Leah.
10.
Miguel picks Leah.
So with Cassie, it's 11. Okay. So let me run through the girls. Janae gets picked by Kenny. Right. Taylor gets picked by Aaron. Leah gets picked by Miguel.
Yes.
Serena is dumped.
Yes.
Liv gets picked by Kane. Nicole gets picked by Kendall. Catherine gets picked by Harrison.
Yes.
Daya gets picked by
Cordell.
Cordell.
Yes.
Then do we have 9 guys? No, it's only 8. Rob picks Cassie. So we lose Sierra, Daniela, and Serena. The math is not mathing. 6, 7, because there are 11. There are 11. The fuck? Because it should be 4. No,
it's 3.
It's 8 and 11. I can't do math this morning. Yeah, so we would lose 3. Sierra, Daniela, and Serena. You know, if that... I kind of want Serena to get dumped just because I don't want her to have to deal with this anymore. I gotta be honest with you.
I would rather her just leave.
I would rather her just leave.
I don't want her to have that the humiliation of getting dumped.
That made my brain hurt.
I don't want her to have to stand there and watch Cordell pick somebody else.
Yeah.
I would rather her just leave.
So then, So then in this case, I see it as bloodbath on Friday. We lose Sierra, Daniela, and Serena at this moment. Things could change, but at this moment, I think that's who we're losing. Fan vote over the weekend. Double dumping Sunday.
I can see Cordell being at the bottom with Daya because folks don't want Daya.
And I could see Harrison and Catherine unless they really show them.
All right.
I could see Liv and Kane, and I don't want to.
I definitely see that.
I just want a dumping where Liv and Janae are both safe. And I don't think we're ever gonna get that.
No.
Oh, I could also see Aaron and Kaylor at the bottom because I don't think people are gonna vote for them.
No, I don't think people are gonna vote for them because of the manipulation of Aaron and the fact that Kayla just whined and cried and still took him back in instant. So I think it's kind of like, girl, no sympathy for you no more. But that's it. We're going to get out of here because I think we talked about it enough and we went through the whole math and realized our math wasn't mathing ourselves.
My math was not mathing today. Oh my goodness gracious.
Ouch. But it's all good. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about what happens tonight on episode 25 of Love Island. We're in for a treat, I am sure. So follow us and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know exactly when we drop these videos, as well as following all of our other channels. All those links will be in the description below. You can follow all of our audio podcasts links as well, so you know where to listen to us on the go. You can follow our Patreon, join our membership at our Patreon, so you can get early access and exclusive content across all 4 of our channels. And you can follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at The Cup Pod. We're there. You can follow Logan and myself if you'd like. Our socials are down there as well as the link to get your cup merch. And yeah, we're gonna get out of here. We'll see y'all next time. Cheers, y'all. Bye.
Cheers. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Bye, Islanders.
Bye, Islanders.
Also, stan Ariana Madix for clear skin. Thank you.
Period.